Hi, my name is Lena St. Clair,
My name is Spencer Clifton.
This is Laurel Portner.
This is Rachel.
and we will be presenting on behalf of our team on the impact of a team development intervention on an interdisciplinary leadership team.
Before we get started, due to the circumstances we're presenting in, we want to start off by providing the opportunity for you to not only hear from our team, but to see us. Our team has been looking forward to this presentation, and we are so happy that there's an alternative way to participate and present at Source this year. So we wanted to provide you with a sense of who we are before we dive into the content.
The Students with a Purpose, or SWAP Club, is a student-led organization at Central Washington University that was created in 2019 with the intention of providing an outlet for students with a passion for nonprofit and social entrepreneurship work. The SWAP Club strives to make a difference by encouraging students to work together and collaborate with like-minded individuals to enrich both our campus and community through acts of service, education, and the promotion of nonprofit organizations. Our club values accessibility and diversity by creating a welcoming and friendly environment for all members, accountability and integrity to ourselves and one another, promoting charity by creating an environment dedicated to the idea of giving back through education, advocacy, raising awareness, and assisting those in need, fostering equity to develop a trusting and equitable group that encourages the sharing of opinions and ideas, and finally, promoting advocacy by empowering members to support causes and policies that are important to them. Our interdisciplinary team is comprised of students from all four colleges at Central Washington University, including the College of Business, College of the Arts and Humanities, College of the Sciences, and the College of Education and Professional Studies.
As the club grew and became more established within the university, it was clear that there were some issues arising for the SWAP team that were preventing the team from being productive. Resultant efforts to accomplish SWAP's mission seemed to be plateauing. This motivated the team to begin their research and find solutions to the problems the team was facing. According to Tuckman, there are 5 stages of team development: forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. Because the team was at the early stages of their development, having been established only the quarter before, during fall 2019, these challenges that the team was facing had to do with the transition the team was making from the forming stage, when the team came together, to the storming stage, which is the stage notorious for dips in productivity, confusion, and conflict. The issues that came with SWAP's stage transition were a lack of clear and consistent communication between team members, lack of understanding of roles and responsibilities, and too many changes in leadership.
Before jumping into our assessment methods, it is important to understanding the importance of team development. Never before has the workforce been more inclined to have people work in teams. In fact, the demand has increased by 50%. What this means for today's students is that they should be given opportunities to engage in more team-related activities to better prepare for the workforce and college success. A recent study from PayScale noted there would be a continued deficit in meeting the demand for interpersonal or team-based competencies if there wasn't a change at the college level. Team building is a technique of team development intervention that positively impacts and assists with mitigating problems, goal setting, role clarification, and interpersonal relationship management. Another technique from TDI is team debriefing. This is a way for students to gain insight on past performances, both individually and for the team as a whole. Being positively, constructively critical of past performances can help the team identify ways to rework something or set new goals for something that didn't go as planned. Utilizing these techniques can strengthen the individuals in a team setting and can build for success in the workforce.
When conducting a strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, or SWOT analysis, it is important to note that these points are neither good nor bad, but a way to recognize successes and to visually see tangible improvements. The SWOT analysis was drafted at the beginning of winter quarter when leadership had settled down to what it is today. By looking at the club strategically and tactically, SWAP was able to formulate a criterion on which to build team development interventions. Strengths and weaknesses are tactical or internal, whereas opportunities and threats are strategic or external. In breaking down the SWOT analysis by each characteristic, we can see the overall picture of SWAP. Strengths are the carriers of SWAP's positive force with numbers, social presence, skill sets, and diversity. But as noted prior, there was a changing of leadership in fall quarter, creating a lack of focus with new officers in leadership roles that are not clearly defined, and this is a weakness for SWAP. The heart of the SWAP mission is to create nonprofit and entrepreneurship opportunities for CWU students, including community involvement, club collaborations, as well as professional development and training. The changing of leadership and lack of focus were threats, including lost opportunities such as tabling events or club outreach. Outside forces are categorized as threats because of possible limitations the club may face when engaging within the Ellensburg campus.
The Team Development Measure, TDM, was a tool utilized to assess communication. Having a diverse group of members, it is important for us to make sure that we had a clear line of communication. The communication assessment we use target 4 key elements: communication, cohesion, clarity of team goals, and the means to achieve them, and the clarity of team roles. It's helped us understand the current state of communication within the team and ways we can improve and in communication. After completing the assessment, our team was able to identify that the bulk of the lower scores rested within the elements of communication and role clarity. Specifically, there seemed to be a lack of role clarity when it came to the roles and responsibilities of each individual on the team. There was also not enough clarity regarding measuring performance outcomes and not clear enough communication happening directly between the team. Team members also held the belief that people were not saying what they really meant or thought during meetings.
Role clarification was an activity designed to resolve any confusion for all members of the team in regard to role clarity and to form a shared understanding of what was expected of each member. Since this was a weakness produced by our SWOT analysis and communication assessment, it was important that all team members participated in this activity. The first step was for everyone to originate what they perceived their role to be and recording that in a document that was accessible to the entire leadership team. Along with this quick definition of the role, the members provided specific strengths and weaknesses they attributed to themselves in that role. The next step was for all members to review the role requests. This was enforced by a deadline, so all members had to have these descriptions read and understood before meeting. Next, everyone communicated their roles aloud to the group, so everyone could see who was responsible for what. Every member of the team analyzed these role definitions and provided feedback. As each member received feedback, they validated their responses by summarizing the feedback to the group. Any disagreements in role descriptions resulted in negotiating the role and making adjustments to the role where necessary. Finally, after everyone had negotiated their roles and received feedback, the roles were documented and assigned to their respective member. The exercise for the SWAP group proved to be helpful, as members had a better understanding of what was expected of them and understood the responsibilities of their fellow members. This exercise was limited by the fact that some of the members missed deadlines, and the exercise had to be carried out across multiple meetings due to scheduling conflicts and other activities that the club was involved in.
After completing the team building portion of the TDI, it was important that we go through a team debriefing in order to evaluate the impact. Debriefing was done through one-on-one meetings and a group meeting. The purpose of the one-on-one meetings was not only to check in with all of our officers individually, but it was an opportunity for them to share their ideas, concerns, and thoughts about the club. The one-on-ones were meant as a place for each member to speak their mind about the club, where they might think that the club needs improvement and where it can go in the future. Had we not conducted these meetings, the research and data needed to further improve the leadership within the club would be obsolete and we'd be at a standstill for improvement. The questions discussed in the individual meetings covered three main areas: whether the team was being influenced by groupthink, a further look into clarifying their role, and their personal opinion on the team building process.
After evaluating the individual debriefing sessions, the following themes were identified. Role clarity within SWAP benefited the club in the best ways possible. It allowed each of the officers to understand their positions, the different opinions that each team member has to offer, the ideas that they have to share, and the ability to keep all members accountable for the tasks at hand. Although each of us comes from a different background, not to mention the variety of majors within SWAP, we have been able to come together and show the importance of valuing each other and the ideas that have built SWAP into what it is today. Every member of SWAP seemed to be satisfied with the group measures that were utilized, including the communication assessments, SWOT analysis, and project management software Trello. However, more individual performance measures were requested for personal growth. Also, most team members have noted they can perform better because they fully understand what is expected of them. Now that others understand what they are responsible for, members also feel more supported. Last, the team seems to relate to each other most when it comes to the intrinsic investment they have in the club, which comes from the social and community aspects of SWAP.
Plans for group growth fall under four main themes: transparency, structure, communication, and policies and procedures. For transparency, we will be focusing on continuing to post and interact within Trello, our project management site. This will take away crosstalk between team members and improve our communication. For structure, we will focus on a heavier structured system so our team will have a more positive work environment and have the ability to complete more tasks. For communication, we will continue with Trello in order to streamline communication between club officers. For policies and procedures, the top leadership will be looking over policies and procedures and changing our team standards to fit within our mission and newfound structure. Individual growth contributes to the growth of the group, and it is important to the overall process. In this team specifically, the individual growth will focus on two main themes: measuring performance and self-accountability. For measuring performance, we will provide areas where our team members can improve and show that the team expects the individuals to continue to improve in those areas. For self-accountability, individual members will direct their focus on holding themselves accountable in regard to their deadlines, their commitment to the club, and their own personal professional development. An increase in accountability would do great things for both individual and team performance.
As a team, we would like to say thank you for this opportunity, and if you have any questions, we look forward to responding to them.